So imagine that we want to be a little bit more specific about what we return. Say we have a path that we know in Drupal, and we want to find the function associated with that path. And that path is admin. Now we've looked at that entry a little bit already in the database, so we know it's there, but let's create a query that will pull just that row out. So I'm going to zoom back in here, and we're going to add our own condition. So I'm going to remove the 1, and I'm going to say where path equals admin. Something to note is that I'm using single quotes here, whereas PHP admin was using something called a backtick, which is just a little bit different, but single quotes or double quotes will work just fine too. So I'm going to zoom back out, and I'm going to click go in order to run this query. Now it says it's showing rows 0 to 0, 1 total, and if we look here, we have our result. Here's our admin path, and if we want to find out what the page callback is, it's right here, system admin menu block page. So that was pretty easy, right? You just created your first query and did some data mining in a raw database. That's pretty powerful stuff. Let's start building the arsenal and explore some of the other tools that we can use in a query. So we'll go back to the SQL tab. So let's say we want to explore what all of the admin pages are on our site. In Drupal, each of those pages begins with admin and then a slash. So what we would need to do is create a query that includes anything that starts with admin. And here's how we can do that. I'm going to zoom in a bit, and I'll delete this one. And what we'll do is say where path, and then I'm going to type like, and then a quote, admin, and then a percentage sign, and then another quote. So there's a couple new things here. The first is this like. The like keyword tells us that we're looking for something that includes certain text. In this case, it's admin, and then the percentage sign is considered a wildcard that can contain anything or it can contain nothing. So when we run this query, one of the rows that we're going to return is the one that we just returned for our other query, which was the admin path. But this query will also return anything that just starts with admin but includes something afterwards. So I'm going to zoom out here, and then let's submit this by clicking go. At the very top, we can see how many rows got returned from this query. It's showing rows 0 to 29 of 233 total. Now, if you remember, the total number of rows in this table is around 290. So we're getting most of the rows, but not all of them. So it's clear that the admin section of our Drupal site is the bulk of our site at this point. And if we look at the paths, you see that they all begin with admin and then continue on.